Jeon, part 3. Today what we're gonna do, it's about creating the user, so make it sign up and log in. So first thing before that, I want to thank you two people who have made some pull requests about updating the README. So KIS and Stephen, sorry for the name, but Stephen, thank you about that. So they changed the README and make it more good English. So thank you about that. First, other thing, I want you to go to this site. I'm gonna put it in the description. So this is a graphical app. So this is finally an Electron app built on a graphical app built on Electron, and this is like that. So that's gonna make your life much more easy to work with graphical than go in localhost 3000 always. Plus, we're gonna need that for having the HTTP headers for the next part. So I'm gonna put the link in the description. After that, some people have asked which tool I use for MongoDB, and this is RoboMongo. Now they have renamed that for Robo3T, and this is pretty simple. This is an awesome app to see your MongoDB data inside your database. Perfect. So what we're gonna do today is we're gonna start by making the user schema. So we're gonna jump a baby step first. So we're gonna go in the model folder here, and we're gonna create a user.js. So that's gonna be the place where we're gonna put all the code about MongoDB for the user. So nothing crazy here. We're gonna import Mongoose from Mongoose in the schema. After that, we're gonna create the user schema. Inside this one, we're gonna put what we need, and I'm gonna already export default the Mongoose model, while we give it the name user with uppercase U, and I'm gonna call that user schema. Perfect. Here, what a user need. So this is a Twitter, so Twitter clone. So we're gonna need to have a username, sorry, and I'm gonna say that to be unique because I don't want two users to have the same username. After that, I'm gonna jump on the first name. So I want my user to have his first name. That's gonna be a string. I'm gonna jump on the second one, who's gonna be its last name. After that, my user gonna have surely an avatar, so that's gonna be a string here. That's because that's gonna be like a link to a S3 bucket or something like that. So that's gonna be a URL. After that, we're gonna have a password, and also we're gonna finally add an email, who's gonna be a string. So I don't do any validation with this app for now. It's just because I want to get jump on the React Native port the quick I can. And also I'm gonna just add here the timestamp to be true, because I want to know when the user have been created and update maybe in the future. Perfect. So now we have the user schema created. Perfect. So we have one thing to do done. After that, we're gonna go in the schema model on GraphQL. So inside source GraphQL schema.js, I'm gonna create another type, and I'm gonna call that user. So here I'm gonna say ID to be an ID, so unique identifier for the GraphQL server. After that, I'm gonna say you have a username, who's gonna be a string. Email, who's gonna be a string. And now I'm gonna put this exclamation point, will mean email for sure is gonna be there for sure, 100%. We're gonna do the other validation about that later, but you're gonna see why. I'm gonna, after that, say first name gonna be a string, last name to be a string, avatar another string, and now create at and update that. I'm gonna just copy paste these two things here. Yes, but where is the password? Yes, we don't need here. So why I don't put that here? It's because I don't want my client to request this password. I never want it. So why? It's because first thing is for security, and second thing, it's in REST API. We manage that all in the controller or maybe like in the model. But here in GraphQL, we just say, hey, my client cannot access that just here by changing, just by don't adding this stuff here. So yeah, that's a good thing about GraphQL. So time to jump on the resolver. So we're gonna create a resolver file for the user. Inside this one, we're gonna import the user model from the model folder. So the thing we just create. After that, we're gonna do like we do on other stuff like the tweet. We're gonna export default, everything we need that. So first thing I think it would be a good idea to sign up a user. So I want to create the user. So sign up here, we're gonna have some action coming in here. So the first thing is here the root value. We don't need that anymore again. Here, now what I'm gonna say is I'm gonna destructuring the value I need. So like we did on the tweet resolver, when I say like ID, where I destructuring the ID coming in from the args. Here I'm gonna destructuring the thing I need for my app. So what I'm gonna need it's email, avatar, password. I'm gonna need its username, and here I'm gonna say full name. So what I mean by full name here, it's because I don't want my client to send the first name and the last name separate and make two input for that. So what I make use is the full name. And yes, we can get the first name by doing some JavaScript code here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna split the full name inside an array. So this is a string. I'm gonna split that inside an array. By making that as a split like that, what I mean is, example, if my string is Emmanuel EQuimper like that, so my name, my result of this gonna be equal to Emmanuel and EQuimper like that. So now I'm gonna have an array with my two values separated by the space, so that's why we have a space right there. So now what I'm gonna say, it's the first thing. So this is the structuring. Again, I'm gonna put my video about the structuring in the description. So I'm gonna say here first name. So I'm gonna call the first value. So maybe if I keep that like that, I'm gonna call the first value. So this one, first name. And here, now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put a comma and I'm gonna say ... last name. So here what I say, it's finally if I have two. So if my I have like, I don't know, like Jones like that, here I'm gonna have two value like this. So my name is Emmanuel Jones EQuimper. My first name is the first name here, but my last name I want to be equal to this two thing here. So by doing that last name, what I say, it's this thing now gonna become my my last name. That's it. So now I have my thing here, and now I can create my user by doing return. Really important because we need to return the user here for make use of it inside GraphQL. I'm gonna say username, password, email, and avatar. Another thing we should have done too, it's I should have put full name like that. And I can make ... args or res like that. And now here I'm gonna put my res, but really important. Oh, first name. And now here what I can do is I can say ... res again. Really important because if you do only res, that's gonna be an object inside the object. If you do this, we're gonna spread everything. So by doing this, we know we put everything back inside the user. And yeah, and here I forget to put, yeah. But now the thing is, maybe that's gonna make more sense after we create that in the schema. So inside the mutation, I'm gonna put the sign up, while here I'm gonna put everything I need for that. So everything I need for my sign up resolver. So the argument I need to put, so I'm gonna say email. There's gonna be a string require. I'm gonna say full name. There's going to be a string require. I'm going to say password. There's going to be a string require. I'm going to say avatar. Oh, it's not require. And I'm going to say the username with a string. And finally, for now, I'm going to return the user. So you see, email, full name, password, avatar, username. When I came to my resolver, I just destructuring the full name. I make use of the full name. I create two variables, first name and last name. And finally, all the other stuff, so email, password, avatar, and username become inside a variable object called res. And now by splitting that here, I can create my user with all the stuff. Here, I'm gonna finish that by going inside my index resolver, and I'm gonna do like we did with the tweet, and I'm gonna import my user resolver. And finally, I'm gonna go to the bottom right there, and I'm gonna put sign up, and I'm gonna say user resolver that sign up. So now I'm gonna check if everything looks okay. So don't remember to start your server. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna jump to my GraphQL app. Here you can create more than one stuff by doing Command T. So this is how I make that, and you can give it a name by double click here. So here, when we check in the docs, we can see we have the mutation. So I'm gonna just refresh. If I check in the mutation, looks like we have something wrong. So mutation, I say sign up. Inside the schema, I say sign up here. Yeah, it looks okay. What I may be thinking is I'm gonna restart this one. Yeah, so sign up is there now. So now I'm gonna run my command. So I'm gonna go on my RoboMongo. Okay, now I have one, so I'm gonna just delete this one. So here inside my user, so my collection tweet development, I have my user who it's an empty. So now I'm gonna run my run of GraphQL. So I just put email, password, full name, so whatever I need. So email, full name, username, and password. I don't put an avatar for now. And now if I sign up that, now I get back this user right there. And now if I refresh this thing here, now I get my user with Emmanuel, EQuimper, my stuff here, and I put my password, who was password123, who was this thing here. So finally, everything is working. This is what we want. So you see the first name, I send my full name as Emmanuel EQuimper, and you take the first variable like I told you, first name, and EQuimper get a variable. Perfect, this is what we want. But now the thing is, something I don't want, it's look at this password. I don't want my DB to save the password as a plain text like that. It's crazy, it's really not good for security. So a way to manage that, it's by adding a crypt this password. So we're gonna hash the password. So how we're gonna make that? It's by adding a package inside the server. We're gonna add bcrypt node.js. So this package is gonna have two functions who can create the password, and one can compare the crypt version with the not crypt version. So here we're gonna import from bcrypt, oops, not body parser, but bcrypt. We're gonna import hash sync, so that's gonna be the asynchronous version of the function. And now here we're gonna start by making a method. So a method, it's something you can call on the instance of the user schema. So that means on the user himself. For here, while here inside the hash password, we're gonna pass a password, and we're gonna return hash sync with the password in it. The only thing you need hashing need is the data and the salt where you can put the thing you want. So here I can put like 12 if I want. So here I'm gonna have 12 RAM. About that, I'm not gonna talk more about the encryption, but you can look in the documentation if you want more about this. Here, what I'm gonna say is I'm gonna say user schema.pre save. One sec, don't worry, I'm gonna tell you what that do. So here, finally, I want every time I create a user, I don't want to manage myself to create this version hash. I want to make that I want my app to make it automatically. So what I can make use, it's on a pre-save method. So MongoDB have some hook on it. So what I mean, it's like here it's a pre-hook. So that means before something happened. And here what I say, it's before this schema, so the user have been saved, I want to do something. So this is a really good place where we can crypt the password. So the user give you password 123, and before MongoDB get it, he save it as the hash version. You're gonna see that right there. So here we're gonna do a if statement where I'm gonna say this is modify, and I'm gonna say password. So here what I mean, it's the save gonna be called also if you update the user. So if example, if I update my email of my user, the pre-save gonna happen, the save gonna happen. So if I don't do this, if this is modified password, so what that means is if the user modify this password, you're gonna recrypt again the password, and this is not what we want. We only want that to crypt when you modify the password or maybe create that. Here you do this, that password. So we have access to the disk. So the disk is going to be the user himself. So that's why it's really important to put function here in that arrow, because if you do this, you're going to lose like the context of the disk. Here I'm going to say equal this. So again the user, and now I can call the function hash password, who become now a method on this user. And now here what I can do, I'm going to just, now here what I can do, it's I can put that password. So that's going to be the same version here. But now that password going to be equal of this thing. And now I can just return next, who mean now I want to continue. And here if I have nothing, I return next to. Like that. So how can we test that? Now I need to go there and delete my user because I want to use the same username. What we can do is jump on the mock, go there, do Shift Command D or Shift Control D for the Windows user, and here I'm gonna import my user schema, and I'm gonna just finally remove all the user every time that refresh. So now that refreshing, so I think my app is refreshing. Perfect. So now if I do this, now you see I have no user anymore. Perfect. So now what I can do is I can call again a user. I'm gonna create another user. I'll get an error. Salt short. Oh yeah, sorry. We don't need to pass. Set my user. We don't need to pass the number right there. Looks like my node don't restart, and I don't know why. Oh, now if I refresh, now I'm gonna sign up, and boom, my user signed up. Perfect. This is what we want. I'm gonna refresh here. Now if I open my user, boom, now I get the password hashed version. Perfect. Now this is much more secure than having the password as a plain text. But now time to make it log. But now we need to do a bit more, because before that was easy to just say this is email, this is password, do they match? Yes. But now we need to compare that with the encrypted version. So we can make use of the function comparing, who it's a function who check finally and who check the password encrypted with the password you give it. I'm gonna call another function on method called authenticate user, who's gonna take a password, if I can type it, and here gonna return compare sync, who here, as you can see, take some data, take the encrypted version, and return a boolean. So here I'm gonna say password. I'm gonna say this that password, so that is gonna be the password of the user. That's why this is inside a method. And this thing, we know that's gonna return a boolean. So we can make use of it inside the resolver. So we're gonna jump here. We're gonna make a logging resolver. The logging version here gonna need to be an async one. We don't gonna have nothing from the root. Here we're gonna just need the email and the password destructuring, because this is what we need to make sure this is the good user. After that, we first thing search if the user exists. So we do find one, and we pass the email. So we're gonna find one with the email. If we don't find any user, I'm gonna throw a new error called user not exist. So that means we have no user here. So first thing we search, so maybe like the user didn't been created. After that here, I'm gonna say if the user that authenticate user, so the function we have right there. So I'm gonna copy paste the term. If user, and I pass the password coming from the front end, so this one. So what happening is here I call the user who is fine, and I say take the password, so password 123, and check if password 123 equal the version who it's scripted, so this version right there. So, sorry. So if here that return as a false, so that's why we have the bang thing here, I'm gonna throw again a new error, call password not match. So that means the password don't match, but the user exists. And here finally, I'm gonna return the user. So we create a resolver. What we need to do, go inside the index, put the resolver here. You're gonna see it's gonna be always the same kind of pattern. And finally, we jump back in the schema. In the schema here, don't need a lot, just need logging. We're gonna take the email require and password. Gonna be a string 2, and for now we're gonna return the user. Perfect. So now if I refresh my collection, I have no user. So for test that, I need to first thing sign up the user. So I'm gonna create a user. Perfect. I have my user. I have right there with the version crypted. Now if I go and log, so I put my email. I'm gonna say password only, and as you can see, my password was password 123. So now if I send that, I get an error. User authentication, it's not a function. So I get an error right there. Authenticate user, it's not a function. So what I pen. What I think happening, it's again that didn't refresh well. So I'm gonna try again. So if I sign up, and now if I log, oh, I know why. So I know why it's here. I do const user, but as you can see, I didn't make use of the await. So finally, the user never really came. So now that's gonna refresh. Perfect. Now inside my schema, inside my user, I have no user. So I need to create one. So I'm gonna create one. Perfect. And now if I try to log, I get password not match. Why? Because my email having exists. If I send that CO, I get user not exists because my only user have that come here. So now what I can do, I'm gonna check if the real one works. So just for showing you, the user password was password 123. Now if I match, perfect. Now I can get the username and I can get all my information about the user. And that came with the password 123. We know equal this thing. So I hope you learn a bit here. Sorry about that. That was just here. I forget the await, so the promises never finished. So the user never came really here with the. That was all synchronous here. What happening? That's why we get this thing. So I hope you enjoy. Again, I put the link on the description about every link I talk about. So about the GraphQL app, about the RoboMongo stuff, and about my destructuring video. Also, I'm gonna put the repo again on the description. And I hope you enjoy, and we talk later. Have a good day. Bye.